Okay, in the last lesson, I went through sorted function and sort function. The difference between the sort function and the sorted function is whether to assign the sorting to a variable. So if you are using numbers dot sort, there is no need for you to assign it to a variable. Also, you can just use, if you have a list of numbers, you can just use numbers dot sort, and then you just print out the numbers, it will already be sorted. And if you want to, because in dot sort, it will be in ascending order. If you want it to be descending order from the biggest to the smallest, then you will need to use reverse equals true. Okay, if you can, when I'm teaching, you can also type it out so that you remind yourself that this is possible. Then followed by sorted. Now, I mentioned that if you are using sorted, you need to assign it to a variable. So if the original list of numbers is given, then the numbers, you need to assign it to maybe a variable called number sort, then equals to, and then sorted, then numbers. If not, if you want ascending order, then you don't need the reverse equals true. If you want it to be descending order, then you will include this by comma, reverse equals true. Okay, and I also mentioned that in the list whereby there are strings. So if you have apple, orange, banana, and eggplant, if you use dot sort, then it will sort by first letter of the word. Okay, if let's say there are other if let's say there are similar first letter words, then you will go on to the second letter. Okay, is there a second letter? Let's say, for example, what's there? Any fruit starting with A that is not apple. Oh my, agar. Okay, I know it's not a fruit, but just want to show you that it is by second letter. So you have this AP, right? Then this is AG. Then AG will come first. Or if it's beginning with A, and then if they are the same, then it will move on to the second letter for comparison. So since this is the G, then G will come first, followed by P. Okay, so of course agar is not a fruit. Then if you are using sorted, it will be the same usage. So words, so I need to assign a new variable to it, new words, then equals to sorted, then words. If you want to be in descending order, then it will be comma, reverse equals true. Okay, so I ended off by asking you to go back and then read the sort method and the sorted method. Okay, I think there's some missing syntax here, but I think it doesn't matter. The examples have already shown you. Okay, so syntax is missing, but I think it's fine. Okay, we will move to section 4, loops and functions calls using this. So we are saying that even if it's a list, we can traverse through a list. When we say traverse is always used when there's loops. So when we say that we want to traverse through a list, then we will use either a for loop or a while loop. Okay, so if we are using while loop, so imagine if you try to recall for while loop, there's always an initialization, an initial number, then followed by while loop, and then you need to have a terminating condition. And then you need to increase it manually. That means you need to have one line that increases the number. Okay, so if I have index equal to 0, can you all see? Please one more. Okay, index equal to 0, then while index must be less than the length of the fruits what do you want to do? You print fruits and then maybe by index. Because as you create this loop, the index will be increasing, right? Will be changing. So I want to print the fruits every time when it changes. Okay, so let's say, for example, now if you have index equal to 0, this index here is 0. So 0 is less than the length of fruits. It goes into the while loop. It prints fruits 0. So apple will be printed in this line. Then followed by index, you need to add 1 to it. Okay. So in this list, what it's doing is picking out the different elements in the list and then print it out line by line. How about for loop? Say again.
Does a print fruits index mean?
That means when index is equal to 0, right? So imagine this is 0. So 0 is less than the length of fruits here, which is 4. So in this line, because index is 0, so it goes inside this and then it prints this. Do you know what it means? Fruits 0. Apple.
Yeah.
Oh. Then after this line, after it prints, it increases by 1. Yeah. So this index will always be changing. Okay, so after adding by 1, then it goes up to the while loop again. Then this is 1. So 1 is still less than 4. Then you print. So this index here will always be changing. I'll just give you an example. This is index. It is like in mathematics, the x. So x is always changing. Okay. How about for loop? Are you able to write the for loop? Can you all try? For loop doesn't require an initialization. You can also use the length of the list to do it. For fruits in fruits. But these fruits here is a list, right? So you need to know how many, so you will have to use the length of the fruits. You cannot use in length of fruits. So length of fruits is a number. So this number has to correspond with the range of this length. Also for fruit in range of what? It will be the range of the length of the fruits list. Okay, then you can print fruits and then index fruits. If you do not want fruits and fruits, to be less confusing, if you want, you can use I, because actually in a lot of YouTube videos online, right, they like to use I, they like to use J, for I in range, or J in range, but it's really up to you. If you think that, I is fine. So if you want, because it has to do with the indexing, so you can just use I for this. It's just like the index in the previous while loop. Then fruits I. It will still be the same because this I here won't change. It is a changeable value here. Okay. Length of fruits is constant. It is fixed. Okay. And then the range will tell the for loop. This is, you need to iterate. You need to traverse through until this value, the length of fruits. Okay. So just now what I showed you was a collection. Okay, so maybe just put it here for reference. So for fruits, in fruits, actually you can also do this. Then you just print fruit. it will also give you the same thing. So collection, if you want to do a collection, that means you use items in collection. You can also for fruits in fruits or id in fruits. It's fine. Both are okay. Do a few times because the iteration, right, is something that you will need it very often. So you need to know how to use while loop. You need to know when to how to use for loop. Both are equally important. Okay, passing a list object into a function. This is an example. Now, when a list object is being passed into a function, it is only passing a reference to the list. Okay. Hence, when the list is modified inside the function locally, it will reflect on the outer scope also. So if you look at this example here, I have fruits, okay, and I want to update the list. So in this particular fruits list, I want to update the list where it is 0. So I just want to update one item. So in this particular list, right, you realize that this LST, right, is the same as this LST. And this LST refers to the fruits here. And this fruits is a list that is outside, which is this. So they are actually all linked. Of course, you may say that, oh, why need to be so troublesome? And then why don't I just change the fruits here? Sometimes it is always easier to have a main function doing something, but you can update it outside the code rather than inside the code. Or instead of just changing, then you see, imagine I want to change these fruits to maybe another name, tropical fruits, trop fruits. Then if I put fruits here, then I need to change this. 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 I need to change a lot of things inside the code. So it's easier if I have a list here. Then whatever things that I pass this particular argument, right? I link it to this, which is the list, and then it will automatically update already because these fruits and these fruits is the same. Okay, I hope you know what I mean. It's just a style. It's just a style. Or more convenient. So next time as you code, you will know that when I want to, if you use the same variable or same parameter, right, then you'll find that you need to change a lot of things in the code, which is not so convenient. So what it's trying to do here in this code is that the list 0, index 0, I want to update it to watermelon. And at the same time, I want to append one fruit element, which is strawberry. So if I want to call for update this function with this fruits list, what printout will I get? There are two things that are being done for this function. One is to change index 0 fruit and append strawberry into the list. So what would you see? Before running the program, what would you expect? Also, once you, I mean, you can try to determine first before you run the code. So the first element, apple, will be updated to watermelon. And then strawberry, one element only, will be added to the back. Remember what is the difference between append and extend? If I were to use extend here, what happens? If I change this to extend, what will happen? If I comment out this, sorry, each letter is separated. Also, when you extend one element, that element string will be split up into individual alphabets, and then it will create one element by one element like that. So the individual letter becomes the element. Then how can I extend this strawberry? How can I make this strawberry not get split up? What bracket? Square bracket. That means I want it to be a list. If I extend a list to an original list, that will not happen. So that's what I mean. You know, you need to, if you want to use extend, how should you use it? If you want to use append, how you should use it. So this is the difference that you need to know. Okay. All right. Now your turn. Challenge exercise 2. I'll give you 15 minutes. You can discuss and then code this thing and then see what did you find. Okay. You can work in pairs, only pairs. I'll give you 15 minutes. Okay. You are given a fruit basket that contains some apple, banana, orange, kiwi. So the fruit basket list is as listed as below. So this fruit basket here has been given to you in the cell. I already pasted for you in the cell. You are to implement a function pick fruit, which will pick a type of fruit from the fruit basket list into another list of specific fruit type. Para 1, there are two parameters. Para 1 is the parameter for the fruit basket list in the list. That means I want to pick, for example, orange. Sorry, the first one is where you pick from. It's the list of the fruit basket where you pick from. The second parameter is the type of fruit that you want to pick. Let's say if I want to pick orange, then of course parameter 2 will be orange. Okay, so this is an example of how the list will look like. So if you pick fruit basket orange, and then you will return this. Okay, you can begin now. Using the function, implement another function to provide the number of, you need to have another function to provide the number of orange, kiwi, apple, and banana in the basket. You can decide on your own parameters, return or printouts. You can decide. This one, you leave it. Can you create another, because this is a negative example. Also give you a negative example. Okay, maybe I just give you the negative example first so that you can, after this cell, you can include another cell below. Or you just type B, you click on this cell, then you type B, there will be a new cell below. So what we are trying not to ask you to do is that we don't want you to define pick fruit in this manner. Okay, so you can just copy this one down first. Pick fruit, and then basket. Fruit. Fruit equals fruit basket equals to empty string. Anyway, you will need to have the empty string. Oops. Okay, open an empty string for B fruits in the fruits basket. If B fruits equal fruits basket dot append B fruits and fruit basket dot remove.
I remove.
because I need to have a list. Yeah. So you see on the fruit basket, right? It's empty list. You append. Yeah, man, it's okay. No, it's okay. Yeah, that's why. Yeah. Yes. So, what it's trying to do here is to alter the elements inside the fruit basket. I realize I have the tendency after typing basket and to put a ball at the back. Be careful with which basket I'm removing from, because the original list is fruits basket, right? So I'm removing. That means after adding the fruit inside the fruit, but the new fruit basket, I remove the fruit from the original fruits basket. So that's why we are trying to say that we shouldn't do that lah. Fruits basket. Yeah. So what this is a negative example, because I created a fruit basket, then I iterate through for whatever fruit in the fruits basket. If the fruit that I'm going to, if this particular, because the B fruit will always start from zero, the index will always start from zero in a for loop. So if the B fruit is equal to the fruit, or this fruit, orange, then I will append it, and then I will append into the new fruit basket, and I will remove from the original fruits basket. So we say that this habit is not good. This way of coding is not good. Once you do removing, right, the index of the elements will shift. And you might not get the correct list of the fruits. That's why in the sample, right, there are so many oranges. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 8 oranges in this list. But if you use this way, right, you'll find that there are only 5 elements in this list. So we are saying that by appending into the new list and removing from the original one is not a good thing. Okay, so you create another empty cell below, and then you can start doing. See how you can remove. See how can you put all these into this, and then create this. We use orange first now. You can copy this list down. Fruits basket. You can just copy this into the next cell. Then you can continue from there. So there are 2 things that you need to do. One is to have this list, pick fruit, and then using function implement another function to provide the number of oranges, the orange, kiwi, apple, and banana in the basket. So you need to have two cells. You just you try to complete the first one first. You must have certain strategy. Some of you, you look at this pattern, you don't know how to start, right? So what is the strategy? You can discuss with your friend. It's okay. How to start? I will suggest that you create another duplicate of the fruits basket if you want, so that you don't touch the original fruits basket, because this is like the original copy. You wouldn't want to touch this. You can create another one, because this is the original data. So imagine it's like your test paper. If I don't ask you to make a duplicate copy and you do it straight away on the copy, and then when you accidentally delete, right, you won't be able to know what's the original copy that was given. Because you have no reference to it. So if you don't touch this fruits basket, that's the best. Duplicate another copy, and then you touch that one instead. Define, I'll help you a little bit. So define pick fruit. You can have a basket also, because all these parameters you can decide. So one is the basket, the other one is the fruit. Then you can create two empty lists. You can create two empty lists. One is to have a fruit basket, so I call it F basket. And the other one is the basket copy. There's nothing offensive about the letter F with an underscore. There's nothing offensive. If you want, you can put FR. I cannot blame you. You are still a teenager. You're still very curious about everything and amused with a lot of things. Then if I open up these two empty lists, then what's next? You need to traverse. You need to traverse. That means you need to have for loop or while loop to traverse through the whole list of the fruits basket, pick up the fruit, and then put it inside the fruit basket, which is an empty list. So what I'm doing here is make a copy of fruits basket. Do not put basket copy equals to basket. This one I put it at the top, okay? Make a copy of the fruits basket. Remember not to put basket copy equal basket. If you put basket copy equal basket, then the basket will be will become the basket copy. So we want to delink these two. So I want you to create a for loop. Okay, create a for loop. To append copy fruits. Fruits and fruits into fruits basket. Okay, to make it more specific, it will be fruit into basket copy. Create the for loop first. Try to avoid using this fruit because this fruit is here already. So try to use another fruit, different forms of the fruit. So for all fruit in basket. So when for all fruit in basket, this basket refers to this. Okay. And what we wanted just now was, if you go back to the question, we want pick fruit basket orange. So you can copy this down and make it the this one. Driver code do not delete. This one you can bring it down. So this fruits basket is this basket. Also, this is the constant. This fruits basket is the list of the fruit basket here. Okay, and these two are parameters. Parameters is like a variable. Parameters are like variables. Okay, fruits basket, which is this list, it's a constant because it doesn't change. So it is like when x is equal to this. Okay. If that helps. Okay, so for all fruit in basket, so what do you want to do? All fruit is always changing. So it's like for 0, that means index 0 in the basket, and the basket is the fruits basket. That means I'm referring to this orange. So what should I put? What should I do? First element, if you traverse through this particular list, the first element is the first item, the first element is the fruit that I want. So what do you want to do? It is the fruit that I want. So what should I do? Take this fruit out, and then it goes into the basket copy, right? From basket copy, dot append o fruit. And if you do not know what this is, you can just print this basket copy out. See what it does. Okay, so what you see here is for this for loop, I print basket copy after doing the basket copy dot append. Oh, so you have orange, 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 then orange, 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 Yeah, orange, orange, orange apple. So it will all the way go to this list. So what am I trying to do here? I'm duplicating all these fruits here into the basket copy. You get what I'm trying to say? That means I pick this, then I put inside. Pick, put inside. But I don't remove anything from the fruits basket. I didn't remove anything from the fruits basket. That means I didn't touch this. What I did was just to traverse through the whole fruits basket, picking out all the fruits and then placing it inside a basket copy. So this basket copy becomes another duplicated list of the fruits basket. Then now, what should I do? Return. Okay, if you want to return it here. But is it enough? I haven't gotten the list of the oranges. But never mind. You just return it here first. Return fruit basket. I need to return the fruit basket eventually. So it doesn't help because now I'm doing this. So my list is still empty. What is this list? The fruit basket is still empty because I've not done anything for this. Just now what I did was to put the elements inside this basket copy, but I've not done anything for the fruits basket because eventually I want to create this list of the oranges that they are inside. So what I need another for loop. So 怎么办? Can you create the for loop? Don't take it from the fruits basket anymore. Take from the copy. Take from the basket copy now. Because the basket copy has already been appended. Like just now what I did here, right? It has already been done with this. That means this list is exactly the same as the fruits basket here for my basket copy. You see, just now when I print it inside the loop, I'm printing every single one appending process. So you'll find that orange, 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 then you see every single step being printed. But if I were to tap leftwards, that means the print is not inside the for loop, but outside the for loop. I'm actually printing only the final one. So there's a difference between the tabs. One that is inside and the other one that is outside. So actually I don't need this. I can just comment out this. I don't need this. Also, currently, if I want to return the fruit basket, it is still empty. So you need to create another for loop just to deal with just to manage the fruit basket. Are you facing any issue?
Okay, why can't you just return the basket copy instead?
Basket copy is a duplicate copy of the original. or return, I don't know.
I return already, then it shows all the orange.
No. My expected one is this one. So just now my concept is, I don't want to alter you. I make a duplicate of you. I go and alter the other duplicate. I alter the duplicate of you. You remain as you are. I'm using basket fruits as an iteration variable here. For basket fruit in basket copy, so I'm going to traverse through the basket copy. And what condition would I expect? If the basket fruit equals to the fruit that I want, which is this orange, because this orange here, if you go up to the parameter 2 of the big fruit function, this fruit here is this fruit. So if the basket fruit, as I iterate through the basket copy, if it's fruit, then the whole fruit, I'm going to append it inside with the basket. So bus fruit is the basket fruit. The bus fruit is always changing. So if bus fruit equals to the fruit, that means if equivalent to the fruit is the same as the fruit, then I append it to all fruit. So if I'm going to do this, you will expect the orange to be appended into the all fruit. I append the bus fruit into the all fruit. Okay. Sorry, this one should be. If you find that the logic not correct, let me know. Because I changed a few variables for my last example, so I need to refer to it. So sorry, this is not fruit, sorry. This one is the F basket, sorry. Yeah. So I'm appending the bus fruit into the fruit basket, which is this one. Then the basket I will remove it. You realize that when I remove, right, there are two copies of it. One is the basket copy, the other one is the original one and the basket copy, right? I'm using the basket copy as a guide. I'm using the basket copy as a guide, but when I remove from the basket. So this basket is the original basket. You can do the other way too. That means you have one original copy. So I don't touch the basket copy. And as I remove it, right? Why I do this is because just now as I remove from the original, there are only 5 oranges here. But when I'm doing this, I'm traversing through the basket, the elements inside the basket. But when I remove, right, I remove from the original one. Later, I'm going to show you one Excel and let you see what is it at the back end, right? What is it doing? You don't get the 8 oranges, you only get 5. Why you only get 5? Later, I'll show you. So if you do it in this manner, right? When you do the appending, you will not get affected by the indexing. Because if you try to understand this part here, right, is that when it's being traversed in the basket copy, if the basket copy is the same as orange, with the empty list, I'm appending the orange inside the fruit basket empty list. So as I append, you know that you fill it up with orange. But in the next step here, what I did was I used basket.remove. Basket.remove is the same as using fruits basket.remove. But I told you before, I don't use fruits basket because if I use fruits basket here, then I will have to go into the code to change this. So this basket is the same as this basket. And this basket here is the same as fruits basket. So I need to only change this part. I don't need to change the inside code of it. Last year, I did this particular, let me pick it out. Let me see whether I have this inside the folder. Because dot remove, right? Once you remove the element, it's very small. I'm so sorry. Because when you do remove, it removes the element already, and then the fruits elements will move up. So if you look at this, right, I enlarge it a little bit. For loop 0, if I append, yes, I append the orange inside. I remove, yes, I remove. Originally, there are 3 oranges in the front. Once I remove this particular orange, in the original loop 0, the original list, right, I have all the way until 19. But because I did a remove, dot remove, right? In the loop number 1, this orange here becomes 0. Then what happens? This becomes index 0. This becomes index 0. If yes, remove, right? Then, because it's loop number 1, the next orange will be appended. Because it's loop 1, it's loop 1. So you see that originally there was 19, right? So after removing, I'm left with 18. Then for loop 2, because this is loop 2, so 0 and 1 is automatically skipped. So in loop 2, the index is 2, right? So it goes to 2. So this orange was totally missed out. So this was not removed. And then the next one that the for loop C is index number 2. Append? No, because it's kiwi, not orange. So in this loop, right, loop 2, index 2, I have already 2 missing already. Because it's not removed, for loop number 3, it goes on to 3, apple, not removed. So you realize that down here, I still put remove, not removed, because this orange was totally skipped. Then I move to the next one, loop number 4, banana, no. Loop number 5, kiwi, no. Loop number 6, kiwi, apple, no. Loop 7, kiwi, still not. Number 8, now this orange here is being removed. Oh, this one is by right, no one, sorry, it's not removed. Then this orange is appended because it's loop 8 already, loop 8, and then this is being removed, appended. Then this remove is actually here. Yes. This is being removed. This is not removed. Okay, then I go to number 9. No, no. So you realize that you see, after I remove this, then this orange will move up. Correct? So this orange here will not be removed. One of the orange will not be removed. Then not removed. Anyway, it's quite a big list because when I do it last year, it's still quite fresh. So you see that actually by right, actually you move all the way until here, right? So this orange drop remove. Yeah, this one not removed. So eventually the orange that was removed, I didn't put the final list, but what I'm trying to show you is the list of the 5 oranges here that was being appended is here. So 3 were missed out. So in the Excel sheet, I was trying to show that there are 3 oranges that was missed out. That's how you then these 3 long. These 3 oranges were missed out. That's why you only see 5. Okay, so this Excel just basically shows that when you look through, because there are 2 actions to be done. One is to append. When you do comparison, right? If it's the fruit, append. The other one, if it's removed, then the whole list of the fruits moves up. So that's why of the shortage now, the index also move. Okay, so you cannot just dot remove in this manner. When you dot append, dot remove, right, it will shift the fruits index. Okay, so the way how to do it is to use the fruits basket. You append the basket fruit into the fruit basket, and then you remove from another list. You use another list as a reference. Okay, you go back and then digest this. Or this one is need some time to see because you need to understand that when you do a dot remove, the fruits will move. Okay, I will do section 5 the next lesson. It will be the last few more important ones like dot split dot split in lists or dot split, then lambda, which some of you might already know because in the test past few years, some of the students also use lambda. So I just introduce whether you want to use, you don't want to use is really your choice. And then we will do some more extensions a little bit at the back. This one is like coordinate geometry. Okay. Yeah, then after that will be list, another list, then nested loop. So we will always come back to nested loop because for loop, while loop, there's always nested loops. Okay. All right, that's all for today.